once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I am starting just a little bit earlier again today. I noticed the start time's creeping up, but admittedly, I've had to talk myself out of starting quite a bit today. Today, brothers and sisters, those who have found your way here, oh my goodness, thank you. Sincerely, the gratitude that I feel, I hope you can share in that with me, because I'm inspired again today, man. And part of it is my life, the life I'm living, and the life I'm living is including you. So whoever you are, thank you. I invite you to be you with me, right? Even if you just got me in the background, but just keep me in the mind. Because if we can be together with common minds and understand each other, sharing time, that's the human connection, right? That's what the world is really after. We're all looking for connections to each other. So I invite you to give yourself permission to feel a connection to me. And see if you can mentally, visually, emotionally, spiritually, if you can feel it like me. This idea, the thumbnail today, pretty simple, man. And the topic and the background, right? The topic today, finding perfection. The thumbnail, praise God. I never thought I'd be saying these words, I'm telling you, but this is my real life. So I embrace this idea in the background. Let brotherly love continue. Let it grow through us, with us. Why? Because praise feels better than fear. And I know this world that I live in, many people have been taught to fear God because that's what was written. And that's part of the test, perhaps. Understand what you read. Understand how you interpret things. But I've learned from experience, man, and what's obvious is simple. What's simple is obvious. And if you just accept the simple and obvious, you can know, right? Praise feels better than fear. Praise all the goodness you can find in order to nurture more goodness into your world, into your life experience. Then pause, right? After praising all the goodness you can find, then pause and give thanks to the giver of all things good. And then realize your own connection to the good that you found, that you find, that you remember. See your connection to the life you're living. This life we're experiencing, it can be tough, it can be challenging. Fear and ideas and emotions, they can consume us all, and they have. But praise God, man. I've been really thinking about God and life and love once again today. And I tell you what, you want to find perfection, be with love. You see it all around you. You feel it throughout you. Be with love, as love. For love is the goodness that you are and I am. When we stay with love, who can be mad at us? Who can stay mad at us when we stay with love? Right? People react now, don't get me wrong. I got plenty of evidence of that. People react even when you just, oh, I love you, But you got to know your audience. That's something I'm learning. Let me not drift off too far because I asked for your mind and your imagination. So consider these ideas, and these were inspired by somewhere earlier today. I had so many amazing thoughts. I was trying to figure out, should I go live? Should I record this? Should I make write it? What should I do with this idea? And then I've been learning to trust, Jack, that you got plenty of time in this life. You don't need to pursue every idea, every feeling. You don't need to do everything. You just need to be present and aware and trusting. Oh, feels so good to be and to breathe, okay? I hope you can feel good being and breathing. And if you can, right, bring your awareness into, you know, how it feels to sit, to stand, to be. Bring your mind into somewhere where it does feel good in your body, in your memory, and realize that's a part of you. The goodness is you. Conceptually and truly, I do believe this is accurate. These eyes I see as with your eyes, right? Our eyes, my eyes. These are not my eyes I see the world through. These eyes, they were given to me from God for me to use while I'm here, right? So these are not my eyes. These are God's eyes. This is not my mind I use, right? I only have the aspects of mind and knowledge that God has allowed me to find. That's it. Nothing more, right? And this whole life experience, the past 50 something years, I've been trudging along, right? Taking the meat suit everywhere. This is not my life. It is the one God offered to me to imagine, to create, to enjoy, to remember until God chooses me to be done, right? Can you feel that for yourself that this is God's happening and you are a part of what God is having happen, right? You're a part of something more, as am I. And I'm inspired today, sincerely, because I feel as though I have found perfection in the plans that I see God has laid out for us. The way for me is, well, there's still mysteries. There's still a lot of mysteries, but I am convinced. As a matter of fact, I've reached out, kind of changing the topic a little bit, but for those who kind of tune in and follow me a little bit, I've been reaching out to others and partially inspired by the success I've witnessed with others. I've been reaching out to other people, inviting guests to join. And I'm actually pretty excited and hopeful about what might be coming forth because, admittedly, the subject line in the email I sent to a couple of them is it's time for the peace movement to celebrate victory. Victory is ours to achieve. Those who align with peace with me, this is our time. That's why we're here. We're not here to fight. We're not here to pay. We're not here to work. We're here to or here to earn. We're here to grow in life, and what life means to you is going to be based on what you've been shown, right? Because we're mere reflections of each other in the past and the universe in many aspects, right? Life is a mystery. Allow yourself to be like a child again. Stop believing you know it all. Start learning again. Start discovering again so that you can find that perfection from your eyes. The way that Jesus spoke and taught, the lessons that were passed down to us, it is the way, the only way to be. Because when you can be with the stillness, with faith and trust in God, in the present, with all the world happenings and all the future predictions and all the past memories, if you can be still and strong and with trust and faith, God is with you. What can you not do from there, right? And why waste time on what you cannot do if you get to be with God? Focus on what you can do. What can you create? What can you accomplish? What can you achieve? What can you learn? What can you discover? What can you offer? What can you share? These are the questions to expand, right? To expand your adventure, your life, to grow you into a greater adventure. That's what God planted us here for. I'm pretty sure that makes sense. I mean, I'm just following logic. I was thinking about that earlier. The logic of faith is a topic I proposed discussing with someone recently. The logic of faith, following logic to the further conclusions than I had allowed myself to go, following logic past my fears. Dude, it brought me to, well, here and now. To the live without fear idea. There's, once you face your fears, you bring the inner insecurities into the light of your mature awareness, the mind that's with God, that's filled with light and power. You start doing those things within you, and it's like the darkness just dissolves. It fades away, in fact. It becomes a non-choice, right? Once you find the light within yourself, looking at the darkness, right, giving it so much attention, it's like, nah, dude, I got better things to do with my time and my life, man. Who got time for the negativity? Who's got time for the bitterness? I used to spend a lot of time like that. And it wasn't that cool for me. I want to offer shout outs to all of you who are joining me. I mean, some of the regulars, man, I just can't. Thank you guys enough, sincerely. This life we are. Oh, you want to hear a Trump rant? How you can fix him, Jack? Oh, praise God. There is so many ways, Jeeps, and I'm glad I caught that. Because I was trying to clip something I said yesterday, and it didn't really flow as well as I'd hoped it did. So I guess I got to improve it, right? Whoops. Sorry, I had a cough coming out there. Here. So the idea is, what did I do? There it is. So the idea is that picture, that image. I'm inviting you, if you can align with these ideas, that peace is important, that it's time for reforms. Actually, I'll get on my soapbox a little bit too, help out build the foundation, right? Because I got a view here from America, and I'm just outside of Washington, D.C., so I'm available and willing to, follow my words. I'm prepared. So the way I see the world today, what we've been born into, it's undeniable, unless you give power to excuses. There is visible exploitation. There is visible corruption in this land of freedom. How do you have corruption and exploitation and freedom? Those don't go together. The visible exploitation and corruption in this land is protected by legal secrets and enablers. See, what is an enabler? Well, in my perspective, if we know of a problem and we do nothing, are we not enabling that problem to continue? And that which is allowed life and will grow, right? So if there's a problem, it will grow into a greater problem. And what's happening in this world with the corruption and Donald Trump, Mr. Trump, I think he's forgotten his purpose here on earth, as have many others in positions of wealth and power, influence. Peace is available. Peace is the purpose of being. Peace is the path of nature. Peace is the path of Jesus. The way of life brings forth peace, prosperity, and abundance. The way of life for mankind was demonstrated to us. It was taught in so many different languages and ways through many different philosophers. But if you know the story of Jesus, then you know how to walk with natural order, natural law. Natural law in this life, my use of the words, love is the law. You obey the love of law without, or the law of love. Love is the law. If you obey the laws of love, how can you be wrong? See, because love in its truest form, its perfected form, as demonstrated by Jesus, and it's a reflection image of God, right? That's what this is intended to be. In its purest form, love is without conditions because there is no limit to love. It's just a paradox that the ego mind that creates and imagines all these limits and fears and insecurities and hates and guilt, the ego mind doesn't want to accept the limitless expression of love that the body truly is and represents. Because we were born into a world, you can present these stories in so many different ways. But corruption and secrecy, right? Secrecy and lies, misinformation, it's proven to be very effectable and profitable for a few, right? We all know the ratio, heard the ratio of the 1% who allegedly own everything. I was looking at videos earlier today too about the royal family and their connections with some very sick and twisted people. See, and then there's these games. It's sick games. Sick games are being played here on Earth by of wealth and authority. That's what I'm talking about. The sick games of wealth and authority that generate profits from war and trauma. Donald Trump represents that. Donald Trump represents wealth and authority in one of the most recognized positions on earth at this time. I, on the other hand, represent love, peace, labor, the environment. I represent God's will for us to know life. And life brings change and expansion. So it's up to you. Are you willing to expand your ideas on what can or cannot be done? Because I'm committed to this purpose, peace on earth, reforms in our ways of living. The ways of living in mankind that have been limited by state and economic oppression. It's of the devil's design. I don't serve that anymore. I didn't recognize the bigger pictures of life early in life when I was volunteering into the military industrial complex, my service in the U.S. Army. See, along the way, God allowed me to gain the title and documentation. I'm a disabled veteran, served the United States military a couple of terms. Um, then I went on to continue to serve the public in the United States Postal Service with my role as various jobs as a clerk. And then I served the workers at the Postal Service with my union. And through my time with all of these different things, I gained all these different titles and all these different roles. But in those titles and roles, I gained a little bit of a different experience than some of the other workers, some of the other people around me. And that different experience that I received, it really taught me a lot of things. And then life happened with me back in 2018. After I started choosing to improve myself, life just kind of transformed. And all my comfort zones were changed, my routines were broken, not necessarily by my choice, but many of the relationships I used to have that were very close, those were ended by the choices of others. And so I learned how to move forward in life. See, it wasn't until I faced my actual losses, my actual challenges. It wasn't until then that I really started recognizing my faith. And once I started seeing signs of my faith, signs of my self confidence, once I recognized that, I was like, that's what I want. I don't like this feeling of being anxious and worried. What are they going to think? What are they going to do? What's the reaction going to be? Oh my God, I can't sleep. No, no more of that nonsense, baby. Or that negative, nasty voice inside. You can't do that. You'll never. Oh, you're such a bitch. I used to hear that a lot too, man. The voice of shame and guilt, those little demons that get inside, man. I know the darkness. I've experienced my own depths, but then by learning about the world, I recognize my true blessings, how somehow, some way, God has prepared me for everything I've faced. I was considering this thought earlier today, reflecting on my early childhood and then the path that I ended up taking. And truly, through what I remember, God had given me the answers I needed to succeed in my life. And I didn't pay attention. See, I had the answers inside of me. I had the knowledge, right? But since I didn't focus my attention and my awareness into it, it didn't become a part of me. It was just somewhere back in the memories. But through life, a different perspective brings different opportunities bring different perspectives. And I started looking back on some of those old memories and I found wisdom. I was planted seeds of true wisdom when I was young. My life has been it's been my life. And I feel like it's been a crazy story. And I'm excited about the stories that are still coming forth because I'm not done. See, I surrendered, but I learned not to quit when I was very young. Right? My mom and stepfather, they instilled a lot of good qualities in me. I saw them. Brings me into the idea of reflections and modeling how we grow as men and women. We are influenced so much by what we experience, the people around us, especially, and especially when we're young, even if we don't remember it, it's in there, right? And so what we experience, we're learning through the behavior of others that we experience. It's how we're designed. That's why there's so many of us. So we learn what's right, what's wrong. Somehow it all works together perfectly. But the idea is many people don't know that they're doing things in a poor way. They don't recognize it. They don't see themselves because they're trapped in the jar of their identity. They're not seeing what the effect is. So, sorry, I mixed a couple of ideas there. Sometimes it takes an outside perspective, right, to give us some feedback so we can see what we haven't been seeing, to see what we're actually made up, what's the container inside of us, what's showing out of that. Um, we may go through life thinking we're doing the right thing in our culture, in our traditions, in our family ways until you experience different, until you learn about different. And as you learn about different, well, you start figuring out which is the better way for me. And I learned things are different, quite different everywhere you go. And that got me thinking about the differences and what time is and what we are. Each of us are on our own individual and unique path of karma. Karma being the patterns of cause and effect. It's just a continuing process, right? That's what life is. It's a continuing process. It's an expansion of all that is in the many ways that it is until it's not. Anything that we can allow our minds to consider, anything we can experience, right? Anything real or imagined, we've got a couple of choices. We can either accept it or resist it. When we resist what's presented in life, well, that creates cognitive dissonance or denial, right? You're putting your mental blinders on. You're saying, no, I can't accept that. No, I can't do that. That just means you won't. You've chosen not to. See, it's by the grace of God we are, and if we unite ourselves with the present, we can be with the grace of God that has been given. And it is so peaceful. See, and when you can rest yourself into the peaceful stillness of the present moment of being with the breath that breathes you, in that stillness, there's a holiness, a divine aspect of you, of me. We can connect to that part of us. See, you can learn about God through the patterns of the world, but to truly understand the world, one must learn of God. Without God, the world makes no sense. With God, miracles. Miracles. See, one of the greatest miracles that's available for you and me, it was shown through the example of Jesus demonstrated for us all. Forgiveness and mercy. See, when you find forgiveness and mercy with yourself, with another, guess what you've done? You've ended the war. There's no battle, there's no resistance. All there is the goodness and graciousness of God's love. What prevents God's love from shining strong through us all? It's these memories and patterns of mind, right? Where we've diminished ourselves, and we have truly. If you look at the greater world and the way that Donald Trump and the administrations have been representing America towards the greater world, it's shameful. Okay? I no longer consent to these corrupted systems. I no longer consent to it. I am committed to the cause of peace on earth. So brothers and sisters, if you're willing to take a chance, let's see if we can make that image happen. Conversation in the real world with Donald Trump and Jack Talcott regarding the topic of how many ways peace is available. He's caught up in the traffic and, his schedules and all the demands of his position. Where Jack, man, I got a lot of time. I've had a lot of time to sit and think and learn, and I got a different view of the world than him. That's all it is. But I do know that if given the opportunity, I could help Donald Trump see the perfection in the plan that's I see. Because the perfection of peace on earth, will you give yourself permission to imagine that with me? Give yourself permission. It's okay, right? I'm just going to have a conversation and think some thoughts, but can you imagine this world, right, where we're not slaves to whatever, where we're not reacting and living in fear and worried about not having enough? Can you imagine this world and all of its beauty? How much of it is you might want to explore? Maybe there's a passion or a calling within you. Maybe you'd love to go clean up the oceans. Maybe you'd love to go help develop underdeveloped communities somewhere in the world, but you never could. Maybe you want to go help the children who have been orphaned. Maybe there's some other calling for you. Maybe it's the animals, or there's something more for you, but you just couldn't, right? Because you got to pay the bills. You got to take care of the family. You got to make sure the mortgage is paid, the rent is paid. It's expensive to live where you live. I get it, man. So there's no time really to go end the suffering of others. But imagine if we could. Imagine how many of us here in America would gladly take the adventure and say, hey, my family's okay. And as long as I know the house is covered and they got food and they got everything they need, how many of us would say, hey, let me go be there, serve, help, right? Restore, rebuild. All of this is available. All of these ideas are available for us when we unite together and we say, the games of wealth and authority, those were fun, but let's change the games. Let's grow up. Let's treat each other with honesty, with respect, with value and integrity, wholesomeness, right? These are the things I would really love to speak with this man about. And I know there is always a way. I've been kind of on the soapbox for a little bit, but praise God indeed. And yes, believe in miracles, all of us. I did start early, and you know, praise God indeed. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link today because I know that is part of it, and there's more people joining in, and if you do tune in late, I do encourage you, give my monologues a chance. There's a 2-minute opening every day, and you skip that, and then the jump through the monologue and see some of the things I say. Because tell you, this life adventure that we are living, I wish. No, I don't wish. I know it is happening. I've been improving. I know I have. Others have recognized it. The numbers are growing. There's more people discovering Jack Talcott and what's going on. And so I know that my past preparations, that's all it was, just like your past preparations. They prepared us for today. Today is preparing us to move forward, to move on and continue. And I tell you what, I have spent time because I understand the power of the mind and prayer and faith and belief. I know these things, and I'm praying for miracles. I'm praying for the fulfillment of the prophecies, that it happens soon. That, and I don't mean the dark side, right? The church has taught this blood sacrifice, fear of God tradition, and there's wisdom in those things. I get it. It's been twisted. This is all God's plan, and it's part of a perfect story. And very soon, I trust that, I don't remember the exact words, but I truly believe that should mankind choose to overcome the darkness and evil, the corruption and greed in this world, if we do that together, the angels in heaven shall be singing glory for us, upon us. And we can join the angels together, singing in the glory of God, united as one, here on earth with the divine promises, the divine blessings of peace and goodness, bountiful prosperity. It's within our grasp in this lifetime. We can choose to achieve it, should God allow it. I've chosen to press the boundaries of my faith, my abilities, and I've been growing myself. I've set some pretty big goals for myself, and eventually more people will listen and maybe take me seriously, because ending wars seems like the right idea. I mean, I can't, people want to argue for war and for secrecy for some reason, but praise God, I've been improving. And some of the guests I've invited will clearly help me improve my ability to communicate these ideas. Praise God. Hey, Palverse, blessings to you. You are a very supportive guy this way. Appreciate you. Come on, people. Hit the like button. Support the show. Invite others. I know I got some cleaning up to do on my look, on my physical, I've been focusing on my self-development, admittedly. My focus in my path of self-development has not been in the physical fitness as much as I could have, right? But I have focused on my mental clarity, developing my mental clarity and my mind, as well as uh, developing in my emotional intelligence, right? Practicing bringing the mind into the heart of my being so I can sense, ooh, this trigger's coming up. And speaking of triggers, I see in the back cage, I'll bring you up in just a moment. So I've been working on me privately and publicly, and I encourage you, find your way to do the same thing. Work on you. Right? You focus on how you can improve you and not what you have to do, what you get to do while you're here, right? Because this life is not really yours and mine. It is the one God has offered to us to imagine, create, enjoy, and remember, alone or apart. So let's do it together with love. Align yourself with love and stay with love, and you shall not find yourself alone again. That's what I've been practicing for myself. Now, Cage, I'm going to bring you up. I want to make sure we're on the same page today. How are you today, Cage? You here?
Thank you for asking. I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm doing very well. Now, I have some questions for you, and I don't mean to jump right into it. You feeling at peace? You got anything pressing that you want to get through?
No, I'm just here. I'm listening. That's it.
Okay. Because I was reflecting on yesterday and my texts to you and our past conversations.
Oh, Jack, if you can put your number. I lost access to it to that phone number, by the way. So if I no longer have that phone number. It's gone. Just letting you know. So I have another one now, a different one. By
Okay.
the way, so I don't know if you've like sent me anything there, but I cannot respond or see it. Just letting you know. By the way, yeah.
Okay. Well, that may help because I've offered you several invitations for us to speak privately, and those seem to be ignored. And so
I'm not
that
ignoring
might
you. I
be,
literally lost the number. Like
and
seriously, like
that may be the reason. I appreciate that. So I'd like you to realize I have invited you and you have an invitation for us to speak privately. Now, I was also reflecting on yesterday, though. I asked you some questions and you didn't want to cooperate. And the questions I was asking were related to your interruptions. And so, are we in a different space today?
yeah. And Dominic, thank you for that. But I found out it was a spoofed number, and my mother is alive and well. You know, somebody infiltrated and pretended to be a. You know, you can call like a number. For example, like I can call you off your own number. It's not very difficult to do. I was convinced of it because she would not answer the phone. So I didn't know what to do, and I went around opening my mouth and telling people about like an idiot. Like, but at the time, I did believe it because I have like a weird thing with when I'm born. So, anyway, she's alive and well. Dominic, I'm sorry for anybody who's stressed out with that bullshit. Yeah, she's completely fine. But yeah, thank you for your thought. And yeah, I'm in a different. Yeah, we're good, Jack. Yeah, and a lot of the stuff you say is completely on point, man. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. And I appreciate you, Jack. You know, keep doing you and that. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that encouragement. And Elvis Trump is asking, Elvis is Trump is asking, what goes on with these private conversations? The ones I'm offering.
Exactly what's going on now. You know, literally, it's a not.
Um, it's for those who are interested, it is for the purposes of helping others. Okay. Helping others find habits of clear mind, present being, helping others overcome past memories, helping people find clarity in their goals or their solutions. Where did that go? I'm trying to get that off. Anyway, so that's what the private conversations would be related to. Here, we've got another guest here in the back, and he's having some exciting things. I want to welcome back Landry.
Yeah, man. Thank you for, you know, uh, recognizing that. It is exciting, right? It's a very exciting time. It's also a dark time for many people, but I don't have a whole lot of, oh crap. I don't have a whole lot of knowledge, right, to teach, like as far as, the wisdom. I'm very much not that kind of guy, but what I am is someone who's at least willing to try, right? We got to try. People don't like that word, but I think everyone should keep trying and failing, trying and failing, trying and failing, because it's the only way forward, people. I think we get stuck when we don't try. Just one reminder of everyone there. But how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm feeling great. I adjusted your sound just a little bit. I may have done something wrong. There. I think we're good.
Thank you. I'm sorry. It's shitty.
I love what I heard you say, and to just reinforce that idea, to grow in life, we got to do something. We got to try. And if we're not willing to try, we're setting ourselves up to fail or to get stagnant. Um, so I love what you're doing. I've seen you exploring in many ways, and I'm excited to see where you end up. What
Hey, man.
what reveals?
It's gonna be good. It's cold a lot of places right now. How do you feel about cold weather?
I'm a fan of warm weather. The cold weather I can tolerate. I can find it. I can enjoy it, but it's not my first choice. No.
I've always loved Texas for the winters because they're so mild. I mean, they're so mild. It's just like I'm still wearing shorts. pretty much every day.
And
So
and here in Baltimore, we got a winter advisory warning yesterday morning. So no snow yet, but it's getting darn chilly here. Hey,
yeah,
do
man, I
you
didn't mean to
mind?
bring the weather.
No, it's fine. Actually, I want to swing us back. For those who may not know, I mentioned just kind of broadly that you've got some cool things going on. Do you want to share any of that here?
Uh, I mean, I don't want to, I guess, jump the gun. It's because it's still important to just. I guess
Fair enough.
what I do want to say is that I want to make sure that I am more intentional with my time online. So it's just a professionalism thing. So I got to be like more conscious of that. So I'm probably gonna. I mean, I've announced it in many places. I mean, it was oh shit, it was announced for me. Oh shit, my fucking phone. Sorry, keep cussing. It's the worst thing about the panelverse is it makes me cuss. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be great. I mean, it's just Friday and Saturday just are gonna be great. Let's just say that.
Good. Okay, so you can share that Friday or Saturday coming up.
Yep,
More
it'll be
news,
very
perhaps.
exciting stuff. It'll be
Awesome,
unlike
dude.
anything the panelverse has ever seen. Well, it's not gonna be part of the panelverse, but you know.
Hey,
I'm
very
excited to. I think me and Moose are going to do a weekly show, like instead of every other day, just to kind of chill out. I'm just trying to. Right now, it seems like there's a bunch of people looking for some sort of chaos, and I'm like, y'all can find it wherever y'all want to find it. I think the best kind of chaos happens on the ground.
yeah. I'm trying to get out of the chaos, to be honest.
I'm with you, but there's many people who they don't. It's fascinating to me. One thing I want to know more than anything else in this panelverse is what it is that makes people um, play the character, play the part of being the one who wants to tear others down. Uh, there's so many of those people. I like to jab at people. I know a lot of us do. Friendly roasting. Maybe that's just as bad to some, but for me, I think it's a different ballgame. I think the tearing down of just like all bets are off sort of people. It's got to be some sort of society is broken, and I mean, I wish these people would listen to you, man. Maybe you could help them because you and Jeff, right? This whole men who are lost, we got to help find them again, right? All these things have meaning. The coincidences. There's no such thing as a coincidence.
That's so true. That's what I've been learning. Remind me, what do you have tattooed on you? What was that phrase?
Hey, unloving, I will love you.
Hey, unloving, I will love you.
It's really hard to live by that, but
That's
okay,
why
I'll say it
you
right now. I love you, Snafu. I love you, Steven. I love you, Tommy. I love you, Imperious. Who else is one of those types of people? That's enough for now. I love all y'all.
It's yes. And
Cage.
I we have Cage and Steven in the back here right now. I haven't heard from Snafu yet today, but holy cows. I
Holy
think that's
cows.
Landry, what if that's why we met these people? To learn how to follow through with that, loving the unloved.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be something to break through on the other side. I just don't know if we're. I don't know because there's also the level of self respect that you have to have sometimes too. It's difficult to balance.
It is. It's fascinating. Um, I'm half inclined to explore Stephen,
Is he
but
here?
he's in the back.
Sure. I mean, it's your show, dude. It's your show. I will never tell you. I learned my lesson the hard way, trying to tell you how to run your show. I was talking about me right now. I gotta like take a break on the Stevens over in my area, but you can have all the Stevens you want.
Well, I'm just curious. I'm going to actually, this reminds me, I want to do this from, where is that? Dang. Sorry, I'm not as good at doing these things.
It's all
One
good, man.
thing and another, but I think here we go. That's what I wanted to bring up. So, just some of the few emails I've been receiving from Stephen from the 17th of November through December 2nd. I got another one this afternoon. I stopped reading them because they're just documentation of insanity. This guy's got troubles, man.
Like, what is it?
He's just playing his silly, sick games as though he's some sort of, I don't know, super villain, or I don't know what game he's playing. He makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by documents.
Here, you're traveling, and I'm getting just a tiny feedback. So I'm going to swap you out. I'm going to see if
Okay,
I
cool.
can communicate here. And against my, actually, it is against my initial better judgment. You know what? Just because we'll do this. Stephen, welcome back.
You can call me the Raven King
Why would I do that?
because that's what's on your screen. That's what you do with others.
No, it's not.
Yes, you do.
And I could call you the Raven King, but I choose not. So how
You
about
should.
this?
Why do you have this image on the screen covering up my image? Why would you do this?
Because I don't trust you or like you. So why are
I
you
don't.
here?
Well, I don't porn bomb anyone. So this
Why
is
are you here,
ridiculous.
Stephen? What did you not understand about what I said to you?
The king is here, whether you address my emails or not. I have shown them on my channel to people.
Okay.
I'm not afraid to show them. You are.
Okay. No, that's your
Why do you live in
story.
fear, Jack? You preach that
Stephen,
you live in
hello.
fear. Yeah.
This
Hello.
this is
Go ahead.
not.
Go ahead.
Let's back up.
Yeah.
You recognize that I am a host here, which means that you are what? A
I
guest.
recognize that you live in fear. You were invited to my show. You can't show.
Stephen, you are an utter waste of my time and attention. I told you that in my messages and emails that you allegedly shared. So I guess you know, because I know what I told you. You're not welcome back until you can demonstrate that you can offer respect. Well, the evidence in the private chat and the email shows that you are apparently incapable. And since you're unwilling to answer any questions or even simply cooperate with any sort of dignity or respect, oh, you're just gone, dude. So, hey, Landry,
That was
welcome
great.
back.
Good stuff. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. It's totally unique content. Good job, Stephen.
Right? It's just a loop. And until he's willing to stop his own loop, he's going to stay in his denial.
Yeah, I mean, I got issues. You got issues. We all got issues. But the Stephen issues are predictable issues. So I like novelty. So you know what? We're gonna keep it short.
I think he's done. Perfect. Thank you, Landry. Appreciate you swinging through sincerely. And you're not accurate. If you go back and you read my words, Stephen, I'm very clear. You offer me nothing. I don't like spending time with you. Why on earth would I go and talk with you? Oh, you think money controls me and moves me. Yeah, see, you haven't been listening, fool. Stephen, you're a clown. And I'm showing you to be a clown, and I'd do it in a much more polite way. You know how to reach me. You're not incapable. Praise God. Well, fool, let's see. What was that? Back up your words. How about we just get rid of you, dumbass? Irrelevance is irrelevant. Darkness is irrelevant. Chaos, it's got no power over order. And so are you going to flow and fight the chaos? I try not to. It's easy to get caught up in the chaos when you're taught to fight, right? But there's no reason to fight. There really isn't. There really is every reason to celebrate, to believe and accept and trust that there's a perfect order that's coming through this unfoldment of time that we are. Why? Follow the logic for yourself. If given the option in your mind, in your consciousness, you want to feel anxiousness and stress or peace. See, when you praise, when you find goodness, when you see the goodness, when you find the lesson, when you find the opportunity, those give you hope. They make you stronger. The life we are living. Oh man, praise God. So many thoughts, and I could continue on for so long with so many different ideas. The path of self-mastery, and I'm not an expert on anyone or anything, but I have been studying me, and I know what I've been doing, the mistakes I've made, and what I've been learning in order to become a better version of me. See, when you master yourself, you realize who you are. And in comparison to the universe, you are nothing. Compared to God, we are nothing. So what do we have to lose? What do we have to lose by having faith in goodness? By being the one to choose the high road, by being the one to offer forgiveness, for being the one to speak up and say, hey, where's the mercy? What holds us back from that? Nothing, right? So why do we choose to be nothing in the face of everything when we have everything? We've been given everything. Again, this is my memory of my story, and please see if it resonates for you. While there were times of pain and uncertainty and, just confusion and hurt, while there were times of darkness, once I made it through many of those times of darkness and I look back, it wasn't as bad as I had imagined. And the reality is, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, I was blessed. I was given every answer I needed to become who I am today when I was very, very young. But what I lacked was the awareness of the blessings I had received in the answers, in the knowledge. I didn't have the awareness, therefore I lacked the wisdom because I couldn't apply what I knew. I guess I'd forgotten things. And I'd forgotten things that I learned as a kid, that I knew as a child, because I bought into the programming. I saw examples of men and women who worked hard and they were anxious and they were angry and, they did the best they could, but they denied their hearts. They lacked joy. They lacked fulfillment. That's what I saw around me in many of the teachers and my family. And it's no reflection on them. It's a reflection of me. It's what I needed to become who I am. And who I am today, praise God every day, constantly through the day, finding more ways. How many ways can I be grateful for being me at this time? because it is at this time that I am. The past is not, the future is not, I am is. So I want to be with the is that allows me to be, right? I hope this is coming through. I really, truly do. Here, I'm half tempted to shut down and do some final thoughts, but Cage, I saw you in the back there. Thank you. I put you in the back when you interrupted me again. So thank you for your patience in returning. Are you there? Cage? All right. You might not be present, or if you are muted. Can't hear you. Well, I will take that as a sign that the energies of completion may be upon us. Brothers and sisters, it'll be short and sweet with me and us today. Hopefully there's some clippable moments, some memorable moments, some moments of inspiration that bring forth some thoughts within you so that you can discover the greater perfection around you, right? So you can walk with brotherly love, sisterly love, letting love guide you, love lead you, right? Praise God for love. Praise God for life, because through life we learn of love, but maybe it's through love we learn of life. So if you can find the love that I offer, trying to offer some lessons I've learned in life. I truly do believe knowledge should be shared freely and generously. Answers, right? Support, encouragement, praise, positivity. That's what our world is ready for. Can you join with me in the idea? Future thinking, right? Future imagining, bringing that thought into your feeling. Can you feel what it would be like if news spread around the world? Hey, things are changing. Wars and debts are done. We're rewriting the rules. People are no longer going to be rewarded for taking from others. People will be rewarded for giving. When we create a world of giving, especially if we unite together with the love and thoughts of God, if we unite together with Mother Nature's methods of giving, which is truly, freely, generously, abundantly, guess what? Mankind will thrive, baby. And then the animals, maybe they won't be so angry and afraid of us. If we start treating each other and Mother Earth a little better, this whole world could transform. So if you can allow your mind to drift into those ideas with me, travel safely, and we'll celebrate together in the future. Till next time, thank you again, sincerely. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all. Peace.